tragedy and very depressing.
Sad. It's horrible. It was bad. It was really horrible and tragic what happened.
It was kind of disturbing.
We began by looking at Jim Crow in old Madera. Then we examined Jim Crow in other parts of the country. Give your deposition to the sheriff.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following facts have been presented, and they are indisputable.
My name's Hassani Hurd, and I'm an 8th grader from Vina. Emmett was a 14-year-old African-American from Chicago, and he went to Money, Mississippi to visit his relatives. And what had happened was he went to Roy Bryant's store and whistled at Carolyn Bryant.
Now, she was a very attractive 21-year-old white woman, but in Mississippi in 1955, it was the wrong thing to do if you wanted to live if you were black and you whistled at a white woman. Emmett Till, he's only 14. He's raised in the North. He's not aware fully of the rigid rules of segregation that occurred in Mississippi.
4 nights later, Roy Bryant and J.W. Milam came and kidnapped Emmett.
Roy Bryant, who owned the store, and his half-brother, J.W. Milam, came knocking on the door. He said, "I'm coming after that fat boy from Chicago." They put that boy in a pickup truck, and those 2 guys took off with him. And that was the last time that anybody except those 2 men saw Emmett Till alive.
They tortured him and murdered him, and then threw him into the Tallahatchie River. We were all shocked at what had happened to Emmett, because Emmett's life had been taken away from him, as well as his freedom, and his family members had had a really important person to them get taken away.
Eyes were gouged out, teeth gone, one ear gone, and there had been a bullet hole through the temple. He was almost unrecognizable. The people in Mississippi wanted to bury that body right away, and when that mother found out, she said, "No way. Bring him to Chicago." And they had a funeral. Thousands of people came, and she would not let them close the lid on the casket. She said, "I want them to see what they've done to my boy." Hi. Mr. Gandy, how you doing?
Well, good, Mr. Coate. How's it going?
Great, thank you.
My name is Alex Prim. I'm an 8th grader, and I am from Eastin-Arcola. I think it's so important because, that's not okay, just from a whistle to torture and kill someone. That just made me feel like I just felt bad for Emmett's family and all that. There is some personal drive that I want to get justice for Emmett Till. I think it's important to bring up the past because basically if no one wanted to hear anything from the past or anything like that, then we wouldn't have history.
And I only want 1 photograph per deposition. The class decided we're going to have a trial. These students are going to be the prosecutors. They're going to present their evidence. in the form of depositions. We're going to have a protest march to awaken in the minds of our people and beyond Madera about the injustice of the Emmett Till case. It's going to be rectified by students in Madera.
Pretty good. And then we have
We're marching today in support of the Constitution of the United States to avenge the blood of Emmett Till.
It's important to us that you know that your voices count, and the voice of a young Emmett Till counted and was lost. The fact that you're having his voice and his story, his life, and his legacy be revisited in our community in the times that we live in is outstanding and really important for the life of our community, right? For the health of us all.
After several witnesses identified the two men as the ones who took Emmett that night, the jury deliberated. It took them just 67 minutes to find Bryant and Milam not guilty.
We're showing the younger generation that racism isn't good, and so we can see that and make kids not grow up to be a racist.
Emmett and his cousins bought some candy and gum and left.
Whenever I got in the middle of what I was saying, I just thought about how that this is really a good thing to do, that we are going to get justice for Emmett Till.
When Sarah's done, I will make my summation. When I sit down, you get up and then that's when you give your closing statement, okay?
On Sunday, he arrived in Money, Mississippi to stay in the home of Most Right.
I'm the lead prosecutor. I'm really happy and excited and glad I'm able to help this cause and bring justice to Emmett.
Bryant and Milam tied a gin fan to Emmett's neck. The killers, knowing they could not be tried again, told how they tortured and murdered Emmett Till.
At that point, you've done your job. Now it's up to the jury. They will deliberate and come back with a verdict. And the judge will say a few words, make his judgment, and the trial is over, okay?
It's important to me because I get attached to things even though it's not any of my business. So I think of things as if it happened to me. And for me, if one of my family members died and I couldn't do anything about it, I'd be very upset and I'd want someone to gain justice. And if they already went to trial and didn't get justice for this murder, and then they also confessed to doing it, I'd be angered.
Whenever the jury comes in, everybody stands. Any injustice needs to be corrected. And injustice uncorrected, especially on a national basis, is intolerable. If we have the means to correct it, it's got to be corrected. They don't know how it's going to affect them, but it will affect them because they'll come away from that at the end of this year. And all this flood of Jim Crowism and Emmett Till and racism is going to register with them. And they will know that they have been more than just passive recipients of history, but they will know by doing this project that they will have become active participants in the drama of history. And there's the value.
McCalzy presiding. This course of historical inquiry has been convened at the request of the 8th grade history classes of Eastin-Arcola and Vina schools.
The students have charged Roy Bryant and J.W. Milam, both deceased, with the 1955 murder of Emmett Till.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we come before you today asking you to correct a tragic wrong that was committed 67 years ago.
I want them to know that it's not embarrassing to be in the spotlight and to always try and do your best and go out there and change something in the world.
Wheeler was 16 years old and Emmett was 14. Emmett's mother.
I hope that the community learns that you can just always stick up for yourself, and that if you want something done, you should always try to do it, not just let it sit.
The last picture that Emmett took with his mom, maybe Till, just before he went to the stream on Mississippi.
I think one thing I would take with me is that I should never just, if someone's trying to like bully me or something like that, I think I should always try to talk to someone about it and never just let it be and let it keep on happening.
Now we have a picture of the Tallahatchie River where Emmett was thrown in the water and everybody was killed.
What is your verdict?
Verdict is guilty, as is both defendants. To both defendants, our verdict is due to their already given their open statement later for money that they did do it. And because they said it themselves that they did kill this young man, we find them guilty.
Thank you.
It is therefore the judgment of this court that an egregious miscarriage of justice has been rectified.
Yes.
I'm very happy and excited that we actually won the trial and we got a guilty verdict. I was very excited and very glad and proud of my other prosecutors because they also helped with this trial.
I was actually there for his funeral, and this is sort of an extension.
Wonderful, and I hope it's starting a trend, because children need to know things that affect our lives right every day. I think that if we can get everybody involved and not let this be a one-time event, but to continue to have occasions where we highlight each other's ethnicity and contributions and what we love and who we love. I think we need to continue to celebrate that for us to remember who we are, and not just one people, but many people, and to take the time to make all of us feel important the way we would if we belonged to a large family.
I think my voice matters because we're 8th graders, and since we're so young, people would want to listen to us because we're the next generation coming up, and we're the next ones that will be leading our country.
Thank you.
You know, I'm 81 years old, and I've lived my life. They got theirs ahead of me. I love these students. I mean, they're about the same age as Emmett Till, some of them. But the fantastic thing about them is they keep me alive. If I couldn't be connected with students in some way, I'd dry up and blow away. I simply want to open up to them some things they might not otherwise know, and they'll be better for them.